So it wasn't just about, let's get a 99 or 100 percentile score. I think you can't predict such things. They just happen with being consistent, working hard, being high on integrity, etc. So I asked people here together, and most of the people, I mean, I won't exaggerate, but maybe around 65 people from my college were preparing with top 1%. Really do it good, and I want to do it once and for all. I don't want to keep revisiting the exam and again and again and again. And it's also a costly exam. It's about 25,000-30,000 rupees. So you don't want to keep wasting money on that. So if you can train your mind that, okay, you know what, this is a problem today. I'm going to deal with it. I'm going to deal with one problem at a time, and another, which requires resilience and consistency. Over a longer period of time, you've realized that, you have dealt with a lot of problems in the preparation. Over days, I was like, नहीं यार, आज तो बाहर जाना है, मूवी देखनी है, सब जा रहे हैं, caramel popcorn खाएंगे, but ठीक है, 4 महीने बाद खा लेंगे.
Hi Arnav, this is Richa from Top 1%. I think we know each other from some time. And
Hi, Richa.
Hi, and you've been preparing, you have been in touch with us, you tried and you started your journey with a GRE score, a GMAT preparation, but then you pivoted to giving the GRE exam and you scored a fabulous 99th percentile score with a verbal 166, which is a 96th percentile, and a quant 100 percentile score, which is 170 on 170. And in total of 336 score, which is out of 340, which is absolutely mind-blowing. So please tell me, how did you plan your journey? What was the motivation factor behind studying for the GRE? We'll go step by step. And I would like you to give a small brief introduction about yourself as well. Like, what have you been doing? Where have you reached in your professional journey so far? So yes, over to you. Please go ahead.
Sure. So firstly, thank you so much. And yes, I initially started preparing for the GMAT, then we pivoted to the GRE. And there's a reason behind it. I think I'll talk about it later. So I have currently been working at DSAT. We are an AI for education startup in the edtech space, right? And I also recently published my first book, which has also been an Amazon bestseller. So I think since the very start, right, ever since I was in college, I've always loved building things, whether it was startups, products, research ideas, or systems. And I think that entrepreneurial mindset naturally got me interested in how technology and management intersect, because they are not two different things. I think they are two stems of the same tree, right? So I thought when I'm interested at an intersection of these two things, taking the GRE would be the right first step towards what I want to do. So for me, it wasn't just about scoring high. I think it was about pushing my own limits, because I didn't have a very good JE experience, frankly speaking, like most of the people don't. So there was a lot of thought ki, can I really do it, or should I even do it in the first place? Let's put it that way. So it wasn't just about, let's get a 99 or 100 percentile score. I think you can't predict such things. They just happen with being consistent, working hard, being high on integrity, etc. So I think it was more about pushing my limits and thinking on a global level. So that's a bit about myself. And you asked me about my preparation journey. I'm going to be fully honest about it. I was dedicating about 8 hours a day for 4 to 5 months.
Yes.
Yeah, but then you have to, right? I mean, it doesn't come easy. So I was doing about 8 to 9 hours a day, because I realized that I want to really, really do it good, and I want to do it once and for all. I don't want to keep revisiting the exam and again and again and again. And it's also a costly exam. It's about 25,000-30,000 rupees. So you don't want to keep wasting money on that, right? So I was doing about 8-9 hours a day. So सुबह 4-5 घंटे, office के बाद 4-5 घंटे, and you're doing it about for 4.5, maybe 5 months, roughly ballpark. It was intense, but I personally treated it like a full-time project, just like I would treat a startup. I think you really gotta know why you are doing it, and if you know why you are doing it, the how becomes easy, right? There's also this book called Start With Why by Simon Sinek. It's one of the bestsellers. So the title of the book is only very empowering, I would say, in a way, because if you know why you are doing something, the how can always follow, right? So I knew I'm doing it for the things I want to achieve in the longer run. So then you make time for the how. So it was like a full-time project. The plan was very simple. Build strong fundamentals first, then drill through practice tests. Finally, you got to get the timing perfect, because if you're doing everything right but you're not able to do it in the time limit, then it's as good as not doing it right. So I was stuck to a routine. I used to do quant one day, verbal the next day, and then again quant and verbal. So it used to go on alternate days. And I had one thing that really helped was making a rigorous, what do you call, I'm not able to put it in the right word, but maybe like an error tracking system on a simple pen and paper, right? Like an error log, one can say. तो मैं उस वहां पे लिटरली लिखता था कि ये टॉपिक में ये नहीं आया और ये टॉपिक में ये नहीं आया, एंड यू रिवाइज. सो यू स्टडी इन द मॉर्निंग, you study in the evening, like at 8 p.m.
How
9
did
p.m.
you break your preparation? Did you do like 8 hours at a stretch, or did you do it in like 2 hours
No.
or 3 hours sprint in like one day? Because it is like a long stretch.
So I used to do 3-4 in the morning and 4-5 in the evening.
That makes sense. Okay.
So about like maybe 5 a.m. to 8:30 used to be one sitting slot, which is 3.5 hours.
Right.
Then it used to be 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. That's another 2 hours. Then maybe 11 to 2. That's another 3 hours. So I used to take a 1 hour break, call my friends, have a chit chat, play a game of online Ludo, which I always lost. So we used to, I used to basically inculcate a healthy dose of joy and something to unwind while preparing. So that's how you can push about 8 hours a day.
And your work was not disturbed because of all of this, because your study time was generally in the morning and the evenings, correct? Late evenings.
No, it's not, because I used to start work at 10 a.m. and I luckily have a very good team. So I used to work till like 5 or 6 p.m. And if there was anything over and above that, after 8.5 hours of work, they were very supportive and cooperative to take the load off, because I was very honest and transparent with them. Guys, I'm only giving 8 hours a day for now. So I think, but it's as good as a full-time job when you're working 8-9 hours a day. So there's nothing different about it. So I think over the time I started to see patterns, and that helped me feel more confident. And yeah, that's how I prepared in brief.
Right. Let me just share quickly your score report once here. So this is his score report. We can see that he has scored a phenomenal 100 percentile in quant, 170, and the verbal percentage is 96, which is 166, and a brilliant 333 score. And I would also like to take a moment.
Oh, it's 336.
Sorry, 336. My bad. And this is his LinkedIn profile. And I can see the book cover, which looks absolutely brilliant. Again, Zero to CEO. And it's again one of the best sellers on Amazon right now. And let's go back to Arnav again. Arnav, I would like to understand also about, how so you have told about the timelines in which you were studying. You have also mentioned about how your work was not impacted because of your GRE preparation, because a lot of students are constantly worried, especially the working professionals, that, if I take up anything additional, my work will get hampered. And luckily that you have been like supportive enough team to constantly tell you and continue allowing you to study. Now, tell me, like, in terms of the material, so you have taken the GRE classes with Sandeep sir and Top 1%. So what part of the content, we'll go topic by topic, verbal, quant, and again, the AWA. How the techniques have been useful for you, and how did you plan to choose Top 1% in the first place? Your challenges and obstacles which you faced while you were preparing for GRE along with your work. Please tell me.
I think the hardest part isn't preparing, or it isn't the content. It is always staying consistent and resilient. And the reason I use these two terminologies over studying is because, there are a lot of moments where there's a lot of self-doubt, especially when you don't perform well on certain mocks. It happened with me too. It's very common. So if you can train your mind that, okay, you know what, this is a problem today. I'm going to deal with it. I'm going to deal with one problem at a time, and another, which requires resilience and consistency. Over a longer period of time, you've realized that, you have dealt with a lot of problems in the preparation, which could be conceptual problems. It could be problems that seem impossible to do initially. So I think the hardest part is staying consistent, resilient, and trusting the process, especially when there are low moments. So I think what helped was maybe treating the process like a long-term investment, right? Because one exam can really, really change the trajectory of your life. So I constantly reminded myself that consistency beats intensity and this and that. And they sound good poster quotes. So I do not recommend that you put it up on the wall or something. I didn't do that because I think that's then you keep looking at the wall and oh, this is a quote, this is a quote. So don't do that. But just have it at the back of your mind. On rough days, take shorter breaks, reset, go play a game of tennis, badminton, go out, have waffles, order pizza. Do something, just keep your dopamine high with the right things. Don't keep it up with the cheap dopamine, right? So I think you have to, and the last thing is you have to really show up even when you don't feel like it. I mean, there were days I was like, नहीं यार आज तो बाहर जाना है, मूवी देखनी है, सब जा रहे हैं, कैरमल पॉपकॉर्न खाएंगे, बट ठीक है 4 महीने बाद खा लेंगे. So you have to really know why you have to do it.
Right. Okay, that's great. So that's a very good piece of advice, that you need to balance your life and you not have to be constantly stressed and be harsh on yourself, that you're preparing for GRE and take it like a burden on yourself, but keep it light so that you can enjoy your studies. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. And how about the role of the coaching center, the course and the mentor? So you joined Top 1% some time back, and you started with the GMAT coaching, and then you pivoted to the GRE coaching then. So how did you plan to choose Top 1%, and how did you get to know about Sandeep sir?
So I think this goes back a little in time, maybe 2021, 22, which now feels like a time when dinosaurs existed. It's been so long. To my college, right? I was in pre-final year or final year of college when everyone's discussing, भाई तू क्या करेगा, तू M.Tech करेगा, MBA करेगा, CAT देगा, UPSC देगा, ये वो. And at one point, I even thought pilot बन जाते हैं. So because everyone's talking so many things around you, you don't know what to do. I mean, and it's fine. I mean, you don't have to have everything figured out, but then make sure by the time you're ending college, you have something in your mind. Because I think in my book, there was an interview with Mr. Sanjay Bell, who's the ex-global CEO of Raymond's. Okay, he mentioned something like you gotta play life using something called as a reverse backward analysis. So what he means is, if you know the end goal, let's say you want to do an MBA from Harvard. Some of the students might want to do that. And then let's say you're in college. So you have about 5 years of window before you apply for HBS or anything at all, ISB, whatever. Then you can plan it in reverse. Okay, maybe I want to do a startup in the last 2 years. Maybe I want to work in consulting for the first 2 years so that I can think across the spheres and then do a startup. Maybe this will help my profile. Maybe I want to start an NGO because I'm really passionate about something. Okay. So if you can plan it in reverse, then you would be very better off than others. So the same thing, right? I mean, I was lucky enough to get this advice early in life, and I thought, okay, let's maybe do an MS or an MBA, right? So I asked people, "Ki yaar, tu kya kar raha hai?" And most of the people, I mean, I won't exaggerate, but maybe around 60, 65 people from my college were preparing with Top 1%.
Okay, that's a good number. So you're from Symbiosis, if I'm not wrong, right? You did your engineering.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right. So third years and fourth years. So 60, 65 people said Top 1% dekh le, techniques achhi hain. But they're like, it's a lot of hard work. So make sure you're up for that. Otherwise, don't. So which makes sense. Everything requires hard work. So that's where I got to know about Sir. And then I took a demo, and that's how you and I got connected. So I think Sir's techniques like Octave, Clesp, and Aman Sir's basics on quant, because this is a big myth कि engineers का math अच्छा होता है, नहीं होता है. Because I'll tell you why. हमारा calculus अच्छा होता है. Right? We know integration, we know differentiation. We have not seen numbers after 10th standard either, right? Numeric math, जो GRE GMAT में आता है, we have not seen that. So it makes no difference if you can integrate a very complex
so this is a big myth buster, like engineers ka math. Not all engineers are good in math also, you say. Okay. Yeah, because a lot of times, all the people who come from non-math backgrounds, they're like, no, we are not from engineering backgrounds. So no, we can't do math. And anyways, I think when you started, you started with GMAT quant, right? So that was already at a higher level. So then for pivoting to GRE, it would be much easier for you because that's much easier.
There was a reason I pivoted. I'll get to that. So I think one thing generally I tell this, like engineers. So in India, unfortunately, everything is called quant. So calculus is also quant, and numeric math is also quant. So I think people need to really, really think for themselves, is my calculus bad or is my numeric quant bad? If your numeric quant is bad, then please say your quant is bad. Don't fool yourself. But if your calculus is bad, don't say your quant is bad, because that's calculus. Right? So I think Aman sir takes these, quant basic sessions, which are a part of the program. I think that was very helpful because you can revisit your ninth and 10th standard maths, revisit algebra, linear equations, and geometry, coordinate, etc. So I
Right.
think that helped. And then when you move on to the main course, that's like, the core content, then sir's techniques on Octave were, like, I would really say mesmerizing, because it flows beautifully, right?
Right.
It's artistically subtle in a way marketing can't capture. So
Okay.
it really helped. Okay. It
Uh,
takes effort. I'm not saying I did not get Octave in the first time. I saw the video at least 2 or 2.5 times, if I remember. So
uh,
it takes time, but it happens. You trust the process. So then the mock portal helped. I mean, there were sectional tests, there were topic wise tests. So you could bounce between prep, revision, sectional, and then again go back to a topic wise so that you're in touch with the concepts in a loop, right? So
Makes
the
sense.
mock portal was helpful, and it was a game changer. I think I really
Mm.
enjoyed, playing in loops, ki kabhi
Mm.
sectional there, kabhi topic wise there, and you played as per your own strength.
And the
So I think
interface is also very similar to the ETS mock. So that again
it
is
is,
an
it is,
advantage.
it
So
is, it is, yeah.
mm,
So I think what I loved about the course wasn't just any tricks or something. It is genuinely, it coaches your mind to think in a way, right?
mm,
It feels like learning from someone who genuinely wants you to succeed. I think sir's KTW sessions are, they really push you forward.
mm.
So that builds a lot of your mindset for success. So I think that's how my experience has been. That's how I got to know. And I think the verbal absolutely is a game changer. And so, yeah, that's how I started with the GMAT preparation. Yeah.
Okay. And then how did we pivot to GRE then?
I think you got to realize that there's this movie, right, by Shah Rukh Khan. It says, it's I think, Shah Rukh Khan, but I don't remember the name. And Shah Rukh Khan says, ki, to achieve something, you don't have to take the hard path.
You can take
Uh,
it. Yes.
yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I realized that numeric quant isn't my strongest strength.
Okay.
I'm an author, verbal has to be my strength.
Mm.
So I gave a couple of mocks. I was decently at the 95th, 96th percentile on the GMAT,
Mm.
but I wasn't able to push through because the paper isn't designed for my strengths. So I decided that, okay, maybe let me pivot and play to my strengths. Why do I need to take the harder route to reach somewhere when there is an easier route for me,
Yeah,
right?
makes sense. Mm.
So I was like, okay, let's do the GRE. And again, GRE portion is very similar to GMAT in a lot of sense. And it's not also, but it is at the same time.
Mm.
So, the RC was sorted. Quant is in fact easier than GMAT. So the quant was sorted. Vocabulary was needed. And I think you were very kind in helping me with the GRE course as well.
Mm.
So, going through techniques like CLASP and the 1,000 word PDF that Cersei shares, sorry.
Mm.
I think those things really helped me pivot from GRE to GMAT in less than a month.
Perfect.
So I decided to play for my strengths because there's no point working hard for something when you can reach the same place in an easier way.
That's a
You know,
smart move, yes.
so
Yeah,
that's
because
how
a
the pivot
lot of
came.
students, they are just stuck in this loop and they're so confused that should I do GMAT, should I do GRE? Like how always Mr. Sandeep say that, you should ensure that you get a 99th percentile score, whichever exam you
Yeah.
take. Because when you have a 332 plus, irrespective, like you apply for masters or MBA, even an MBA is not a problem with a 332 plus score. But if you are looking for
Right.
like, lower, so up to 320 is very easy to get in GRE. Like people with no prep can get it. But going from every 2 point or 3 point beyond that is very challenging. I'm sure you know it, right? You would have progressed gradually. So the point is that if you have a 99th percentile, whether you apply for an MBA or a master, it doesn't make any difference. Your scores are valid for 5 years. So it gives you a lot of flexibility compared to any other competitive exam when it comes to GMAT GRE. So yeah, that's a
Absolutely.
great thing. So what's the plan ahead? Like, what are we planning to do? Like, we are looking for masters, we are looking for MBA. What's the plan ahead?
No plan. I genuinely will. I think time will tell. No plans
Okay.
as of now, but the score is safe, so we'll see with time what happens. But yeah.
Okay. So, but what are we? I mean, are you looking for Indian B schools or international B schools?
No, mostly international because I think again, there's a take I have on this. So while everyone's talking about the current geopolitical situation between America and India, I think these things are temporary, right?
Yeah,
It's always about trade. So the world is a staunch capitalist world today, even if your country is communistic. So America, unfortunately, is a part of some amount of debt which they have to clear. So once that debt gets cleared, either if it's through white paper or through anything, it gets cleared, trade has to go on, right? So when trade happens, doors will open. So I think people need to really look at it from a long-term perspective that, okay, maybe see, okay, I mean, today, 2025, things are certainly not very good when it comes to an international student in the United States. But if you go in 2026 because you're going to apply now and you graduate in 2028, 3 years later, things could be absolutely different, right?
Absolutely.
And so people really have to look at it in the long run. So I think I'm very bullish on foreign B schools. And more than that, a lot of groups, large Indian conglomerates, Reliance Group, Tata Group, Godrej, etc., do hire people for really, really good strategy roles as a part of the chairman's office and all, with people like Mr. Ambani. Now Mr. Tata is no more, but now Mr. Nehal Tata, etc. And these guys come from these colleges, right? I mean, Shantanu Naidu is from Cornell, right? There are a lot of people who work in the Reliance Group in core strategy and core business functions with Mr. Ambani. They come from Stanford. So there's always a chance to come back to India on a good salary, right? And I think people look at MBA in a very short-term fashion. They want an exit option. I think you shouldn't look at it as an exit option. You have to look at MBA as a pivot which can help you build your career. So exit options are overrated. Companies where you can build your life till you're 55, 60 are underrated. So I think I'm bullish on international B schools and international education. Not that means that it means India it's not good, but it's my personal bias. So I think one has to look away from current geopolitical scenarios and look a little into the future, if not a lot. And as I said, you have to trust the process.
That's a very good advice, because most of the students are again stuck in this loop, whether to do it this year or not. But you should understand, like how you said, it's just a time which matters, and it is all going to fade away, because again, it's a big market for US to have Indian students as international students for studying. Okay, perfect. So last,
right? When you graduate, it'll be 3 years from now, so you can't talk about it today.
Makes sense, absolutely. So a few 2-3 things on the last before we end this. So I want to understand your advice, like 3 things which are like do's and 3 things which are don'ts, which you would like to cover for the future GRE test takers.
My biggest advice is don't chase shortcuts. They look very tempting, but they're not helpful. So just don't chase any shortcuts. Now, techniques and shortcuts are very different. So you got to differentiate what's a shortcut and what's a technique, right? If a technique helps you get to the right answer every single time, then it's a technique. If a shortcut, if something helps you get to the right answer sometimes, then it's a shortcut. So that's a very clear differentiation one has to have in their mind. Second would be, I know it's going to sound very cliche, but work on the fundamentals.
The basics.
Yeah, absolute basics. It's all right if you don't remember what a verb or a noun is. It's okay. I too forgot about it because, I mean, I know what a verb and a noun is, but then I have to revise the literal definition of a verb and a noun.
There are a lot of subcategories. It's not just the verbal and noun. So yeah, of course, you have to do it.
Adjectives, etc. You really have to go back to the basics. And while the course is very helpful, if you still want to go to the absolute basics, maybe you can pick a Renan Martin, which is taught in 2nd and 3rd standard. Go through it for 2-3 days, it'll help you. But there's no embarrassment in accepting that you worked hard. I don't know why do people pretend कि मैंने तो पढ़ा ही नहीं, ऐसे ही आ गया. ऐसे नहीं आता है. So just put in the hard work, it's all right. So work on the fundamentals, be consistent, build habits, track your progress, make an error log, or use a pen and paper if you think that's helpful, because I think having something visually written in front of my eyes on the side of the table is very helpful. I can see it. I mean, I'm not going to remember an error log Excel on my laptop somewhere in the file manager. So I just write it down, makes things simple. So if you're consistent, your results will take care of themselves. And don't compare your journey with others. Everyone learns differently. Just because now, if you think about it, I got a GRE score in 30 days, right?
Right.
But at the same time, what if I don't talk about the 3.5, 4 months of hard work on the GMAT? So it sounds very fascinating. 30 days mein GRE, 30 days mein kuch nahi hota. Give it some time. Be consistent, and it will happen. And don't compare, because what if I would have taken a 6-month break after my GMAT preparation because I wasn't very happy? And then maybe I would have studied GRE in 40 days and gotten it, right? So that doesn't mean it's a 40-day prep. There is about 150 days of backing in the past.
Correct.
So don't compare. And most importantly, I think what I've realized is that these exams aren't testing your intelligence. They are testing your analytical mindset under pressure. You can mostly look at the question and you can find the correct answer. Like, there was this question in my verbal section of the first section of verbal, sorry. There's this question which had the word dispassionate. Now, dispassionate means neutral, but people look at it as a negative word. So sometimes you can get it on spot, right? So just understand that it's testing your analytics, because once you know the sentence is neutral, any option that's positive or negative can just go for a toss. So you can boil down to options. So it's really not about the vocabulary also. It's not even about the math. While a GRE allows you to use a calculator on the system, I didn't use it because लगता ही नहीं है. I mean, exam anxiety can allow you to use it. I mean, once I was so confused. I was writing on the second last question, and I actually did 189 plus 6 because I was like, is it 195?
You told me that.
So anxiety can get to you, but you don't need it. So other than that, don't be very heavily dependent on anything. So I think you just work hard and give it some time and be consistent, and I think you'll sail through. Yeah.
Right. So would you say that someone who's stuck with the GMAT score for a long time and not seeing improvement, it's a good idea to get a 335 plus score in GRE and then apply to universities?
Absolutely. If you think that you're stuck because of quant, and also you believe that you have a good memory for vocabulary, why not pivot, right? Play to your strengths. I mean, think about it. If Sachin Tendulkar's father would have forced him to be a bowler, probably he wouldn't have crossed Ranji also. So play to your strengths. If you're a good batsman, go ahead and bat. If you're a good bowler, go ahead and bowl. If you're good with vocabulary, take the GRE. If you're really good with analytical quant and numbers, go take the GMAT. I mean, there's no right option above the other. So do what suits you the best. And yes, log to kuch na kuch kahenge. Just you should know what you want.
Right. So I've got my do's and don'ts. I would like to hear the final words, which you would like to describe your overall experience with top 1% in just 1 or 2 lines. And then I'd like to hear that. So yeah, and then we close this.
So I think if I had to just go back on the classic technique and, the 1,000-word list from top 1%, I think they were my absolute favorites, followed by the octave technique when it comes to the GRE. I think they made vocabulary so much intuitive. I didn't have to memorize. I could actually understand very complicated words. I almost thought I'm going to start tweeting like Mr. Shashi Tharoor. So
that's a good one.
Yeah. So I actually started talking to my friends. Just when you're very close with your friends, you have this kind of banter, and I'm like, I shall defenestrate you because you're an acathocacological person. And they're like, Arnav, please, for God's sake. I'm like, okay, sorry. So I mean, jokes apart, I think it makes it simple. The course is intuitive. And I think I also like the study plan a lot. I think there's a page in my book. I think it's page number 27, and there's an image over there. So it says, look left for success in life, and I've made an arrow on the right. And then there's a comment below which says, is this right? Is this left?
Okay.
You're looking at the arrow. Look, it says look left for success, and then there's an arrow which goes to the right. So why are you looking at the right? So then there's a line, is this left?
Yeah,
and
so
then there's a line
focused.
No, it's not about focus. There's a line that says uske niche likha hai ki what's worse than working hard is working hard in the wrong direction.
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, when it says look left for success in life and you're still looking right, then although you're working hard, but you're working hard in the wrong direction. So that was the idea. I think it's page 26, if I clearly remember.
I will definitely check that. Yeah, I have the book. Right.
So yeah. So I think there's a very less emphasis on the study plan. So the study plan was really, really helpful. Mock portal was again helpful. I think they give you a structure. They go from basics to advanced, and they help. The study plan helps you with the roadmap. You feel overwhelmed, but you don't feel lost. So
at least you have some guided prep, which is again a great thing. Perfect. It was lovely. Yes, it was lovely talking to you, Arnav, after a long time. And thank you so much for taking out time from your busy schedule to come and connect with us today here. And I would love to hear from you wherever you're applying. And please keep us posted about your admits also.
I will. Thank you. Thank you so much again. And do convey my regards to Sandeep sir. And thank you so much to you for being a constant support in the last 1.5 years of constant GMAT, GRE, and life happens. So, but mota I've realized कि 4 महीने निकालो and go for it. चल 5 महीने.
I think this is going to be super motivating for all the students who are still confused, stuck in the loop, and need a little bit of motivation and guidance. I think this is going to be super helpful for them.
Sure.
Thank you so much, Arnav. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye. Good day. Have a productive time ahead. Take care.
Thank you.